We're gonna ditch the chair. All right, yep, we're gonna sit right on this rock over here. How's it going, everyone? My name is Keoni. I am a freelance filmmaker based in Sacramento, California. And today I wanted to talk about how I get clients and just some things that I've learned along the way that you might find useful. So without further ado, let's get right into the first topic. Do things for free. Now, I know what you may be thinking, but just hear me out, okay? Whenever I first started filmmaking, I had absolutely no knowledge of what it is, what you do, how you do it, any of it. And likewise, I didn't really have a portfolio to show as well. And if you think about it in the perspective of a client, the first thing that they'll probably look at is your past work. And if you don't have any work, then that's going to be a problem. That's whenever doing things for free come in handy. All you have to do is just say, hey, I will do your first shoot for free. And, it's kind of like a win-win. They don't have to pay, and you get your portfolio, you get knowledge. And not only that, but the fact that they aren't paying should give you a lot of stress relief, because usually whenever someone does pay, there is expectations, and as a rookie filmmaker, you're bound to make mistakes. So the fact that you don't have that pressure of being paid and having expectations by the client, it's a super good position to be in. Even right now, I would say that I still reach out to companies that I want to work for and want to do projects with, and I just say, hey, I'll do a shoot for free on me. And that's not necessarily to build my portfolio, although sometimes it can be, but it's mainly just to establish that first initial relationship with that new client. And so, yeah, not only is it good for building your portfolio and gaining knowledge, but if you are already making videos and charging, then it is still a great way to introduce yourself as a filmmaker into this new potential client that you may have. And the second thing that I wanted to talk about was reaching out to people. As a freelance filmmaker, you kind of just have to get used to reaching out to people, because it's not necessarily the fact that people think your films are bad if you're not getting a bunch of calls, but it can be hard for some people to find a filmmaker, You just have to connect your name with your clients. Now, how do you do that? Well, let me tell you. The best way that I know that you can actively do is to reach out to people. And especially in this age where we have technology, we have social media, Instagram, email, YouTube, all these amazing platforms that just give so much opportunity to creators and people like us. They give us such big opportunities to connect with other people. And you've probably heard that film is just a matter of connections. If you want to make blockbuster films, it's a matter of connections that you have. And I think that is true. It is all about connections, and that's how you get your name out there, is by reaching out to people. So I would suggest taking a day out of your week and spending time to just email a bunch of people. Maybe it's not even emailing. Maybe you're just sliding into their DMs, whether that's clothing lines, businesses, companies, influencers, or maybe it's even just people who you think would want a photo shoot or a video shoot. Just DM them and message them and be like, hey, my name is Keoni. I am a freelance filmmaker and I wanted to work with you. I'll tell you right now, the majority of the people that you reach out to are probably either going to say no, or they're just not even going to respond. But we don't care about them. All we care about is the few people who do respond, the 1 or the 2 or the 3 people who respond out of the 50. And honestly, I think those connections are the ones that matter the most. In my experience, those few 2 to 3 people are the ones who have stayed consistent with using my services. And honestly, that's all I could ever want, because at the end of the day, it only took time. It didn't take money. I just had to send a message, and that's a connection right there. It's getting kind of windy. All right. And the last thing that I have for you guys is to make connections with your fellow filmmaker friends. I think that there is this stigma amongst filmmakers and photographers that, there's filmmaker John over here. Oh, he's a competitor. I can't talk to him. I can't help him. I can see how that is a validated point, because it is true. It's like, to an extent, I think it is true that, filmmakers in your area are probably competing against you, against like the clients in the area. But honestly, I think at the end of the day, do you really benefit more from not talking to filmmaker John rather than, being friends with filmmaker John? Personally, I believe that there is more of a benefit to being friends than to not being friends. And a lot of it goes without saying, but I'll just say the obvious. You can borrow gear, you can trade knowledge, and we're always trying to buy new gear, so it's always nice to have second opinions and stuff like that. And even in the past, for me, I've had filmmaker friends who couldn't show up to shoots because they were busy, so they referred those shoots to me, and that's how I also got business and clients. So honestly, I think that whole idea of not helping other filmmakers and not being friends with other filmmakers is just petty. And like I said before, I think there's much more of a benefit to you being friends and having that extra help around you, because there's nothing better than another creative mind who is helping you along this journey of becoming a filmmaker. That was beautiful. That was just my 2 cents. All right. I'll see you guys later. Peace.